And so now you're off and running. You're off.
You know who I met yesterday and saw? Scott. I forget his last name. He's a pro at Living Park in.
Okay. Yep.
He said
We'll
to say
talk
hello.
later about it.
He said to say hello.
Okay, good. Good deal. I did not make a career change. I decided when I was 16 years old, I was going to teach tennis for the rest of my life. 16 years old. And this is for an Irish kid out of South Providence, Rhode Island, where people didn't know what tennis was. And I happened to fall into it. I fell into tennis itself. I was a baseball player. I was 10 years old, and I love baseball. I still do. But I was dared to enter the city championships. And so I entered the city championship. There's a bunch of guys hanging out, and two girls playing tennis in the street. We were yelling, "Sissy's game, Sissy's game, Sissy's game." I was the loudest and most obnoxious of the group. So I was challenged to go play in the city championships in 2 weeks. I won the tournament, didn't know how to keep score in the first match, and I learned quickly, didn't know how to serve, learned quickly. I figured out if you run to the ball and get it back in the court, that's a good idea, right? To run to the ball and get it back in the court, Roberta Vinci style. You know what Roberta Vinci said when she beat Serena? Her strategy was get ball in court and run. That was her. That's what she said her strategy was. So I figured that out. 2 years later, I was state champion, and then it was a small state. And then I needed to make entry fees and pay for string jobs. So I started teaching in the public parks, and then I got my first kind of like pro job. It wasn't really a pro job at the Brown University courts for the Rhode Island Tennis Organization. It was a summer job, and started teaching at 16 years old. I gave my first private lesson. It was the first one I had ever seen given. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't go to the country club and see lessons given. I had to figure it out. I had to wing it. And maybe that's part of what inspired this, because I had nobody to help me to start with. I have never looked back. I was a hockey player. I was not going to make a career out of hockey. It wasn't possible. And now I decided to teach tennis at 16, and here I'm still at it. And I have no dreams of ever not teaching tennis. All right, I'm in this for the duration. It's so much easier when you decide early. It really is easy. But don't be afraid to decide late. I have a passion, and that word keeps coming up. I have a passion for teaching. My passion isn't as much for tennis as it is for teaching and coaching and helping people to grow. That's what my passion is. I love tennis. I love tennis. Sometimes I cringe at the way it's played today. I grew up with the Leva Newcomb Roche crew, and those are the guys that I find elegant. But my passion is for teaching, no doubt about it. I've been with the USPTA since 1966, and never looked back. Never looked back. So now we know who we all are. I'm going to get Linda to get everybody loose, just not a whole lot, and then we're going to feed some balls. I got to find out who you are as players, as teachers, and we're going to do some feeding drills. All right? Linda, just get everybody up and moving around a little bit, okay? All right, so everybody up.